Hi church, it's Matt, and I've been asked to share a try this at home on meditation. So this is something that I'm still learning how to do, but I thought I'd share with you an exercise which I have felt has really helped me to be able to better understand how to do meditation. So first of all, what is meditation? So I think when we look at other religions or popular culture, we often have this idea that meditation is about taking your mind and trying to empty it of everything so that you can somehow reach this place where you are better able to connect with God, where your mind just isn't focused on anything in particular. But when we look at the Bible, what does it say about meditation? In Joshua 1:8, it says, "This book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, that you may be careful to do according to all that is written in it. For then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will have good success." So in Joshua 1:8, we see that when you are commanded to meditate, you're actually not commanded to empty your mind, but instead you are to focus on the book of the law or on the scripture. So you are filling your mind with scripture. And this word, meditate, which is used in this verse, is the Hebrew word hagah. So hagah can sometimes be used to describe the growling of a lion or the cooing of doves. And it has this idea of a low whisper or muttering. So actually, when you are meditating, it's like you're muttering the same scripture over and over again under your breath. You're making this low growling sound as you meditate. In fact, Yang likes to describe meditation like this. You take a piece of scripture, you utter it, you mutter it, and you ponder on it. And that is what meditation is. It's taking a piece of scripture and going over and over it again in your mind and pondering on it. So how do we meditate? So let's do an example. This is an exercise which I have felt has been really useful for me, and I'm not sure where I've picked it up, but I will show you how I do meditation. So let's take this verse from Proverbs 3:5. "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding." So what I do is I take a short bit of scripture, maybe a verse or two, and I repeat it over and over again. And as I repeat it, I emphasize a different word each time. So let's try it with this. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. So when I think about this, it's saying trust in the Lord. So I need to trust in the Lord. So what does trust mean? It means putting your faith in someone or believing that they're going to, be true to what they say or be true to their word. So I need to be doing that with the Lord. Then you emphasize the next word as you repeat it. So trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. So I need to trust in the Lord. I'm not just trusting the Lord, but I'm trusting in the Lord and trusting in his character, or I'm trusting in his ability. I'm not just trusting that what he says is true, but I'm trusting in his goodness and in his character to carry out the things that he says he's going to do. Then we emphasize the next word. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. So I see that this is the Lord. It's not just a Lord, but I'm trusting in the Lord with all my heart. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. So when I think about the word Lord, I think, oh yeah, a Lord is someone who has servants or people who obey them and do what they say. So actually, if God is my Lord, I need to be doing what he says. I need to be obedient to him. I am his servant. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, with all your heart. And so when I think about with, I don't get anything from this word in particular. And sometimes when you're doing this, you'll be repeating a word over and over again, and you just don't really see any specific or special meaning in the word, and that's fine. The other day I was trying this with a passage, and it wasn't until I got, it felt like all of the words that I was reading didn't seem to have any special meaning, and it wasn't until I got until halfway through the second line where suddenly things started to click, and one of the words in the second line made me then go back to some of the words in the first line and make sense of them. So we'll move on to the next one. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. So I can see that I need to trust with all my heart, and not just part of my heart. And actually, when I think about when I trust the Lord, is it with all of my heart, or do I just sort of partially trust him or trust him to an extent? Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. So I see that this is about my heart. And actually, do I trust using my heart? Or sometimes am I just trusting depending on other people's faith or other people's trust? And actually, I haven't developed my own trust in the Lord for myself. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. So I've been asked to trust in the Lord with all of my heart. And I know from reading elsewhere that often the heart is the same way that the Hebrew people think about what we call the mind, where the heart is where decisions are made. So actually when it's asking us to trust the Lord with our heart, it's asking us to trust the Lord with how we make our decisions. So that's why I get when I think about emphasizing the word heart, I need to trust the Lord with my decisions, with how I am thinking. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. So there's actually two parts to this verse. There's two commands. It's not just about trusting in the Lord, but there's an and there's something else I need to do as well. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. So I see from do not that there's, in the two things that I need to do, the first one is something I need to do, so I need to trust. And the second thing is something that I should be not doing, so I should not be leaning on my own understanding. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. So as I was pondering over this word lean, I thought actually leaning can be quite a passive thing. You know, if you're leaning on a door or you're leaning on a wall, it's not like you're being active. So trusting in the Lord maybe feels like it needs to be a bit more dynamic or active, and it takes some will or motivation to do. But it can be quite easy for us to just lean on our own understanding, it's like a natural default position. And so actually, am I aware of that when I'm making decisions? Am I just, naturally falling back and leaning on my own understanding instead of actually actively trusting in the Lord? Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. So again, when I was pondering this word on, there wasn't particularly any significance that came out from it. So I moved on to the next word. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. So again, this word your is the only word that's repeated twice in this verse. And like I said, it's about my heart and it's about my understanding. Sometimes because it's my understanding, I feel like, I know what's right. Perhaps I'm a bit stubborn because I feel like this is my understanding. This is how I look at the world. But actually, Am I willing to be humble enough to see what God is trying to say and trust in his ways? Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. So again, this your own kind of goes together, where I feel like it's my understanding, and perhaps I think I know what's right, and I don't give God room to be able to have his say in my life. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. So I think we all want to understand things, and that's something that's quite important to us. But then when I was thinking about this verse, I also think of this verse in, I think it's Isaiah, where it talks about God's ways are higher than our ways. And actually, sometimes we don't understand completely what he's doing. So it's quite tempting for us to trust in our own understanding. But actually, we need to be trusting in the Lord, even when we can't understand what he's doing. Yeah, so I hope that through this quick example of the exercise, you understand how you can meditate just by repeating scripture over and over again, and focusing or emphasizing on a different word each time. This isn't an exercise that you can rush through, because the idea is that you spend time slowly mulling over the scriptures and thinking about it. But it is an exercise that you can do pretty much anywhere. If you've memorized a Bible verse or a short passage of scripture, you can be going through this exercise in your mind as you're walking somewhere, or if you just have some time where you're waiting for somebody. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you try it at home.